it bubbled in, they flushed over my.
Remember the glory. From the Academy of Football to the champions of Europe, where our players became giants of the game and changed it forever, wearing our famous claret and blue. 60 years on, we wear the pride, we wear the passion, we wear the history, whilst making our own. Wear the greatness.
Right, you lot, today's a big day because we know West Ham United is all about putting in the hard work, grafting for the bag. Yes, let's have it! And you've worked hard. Early starts, late finishes. Oh, I've seen it, David. Tireless, selfless graft. We're not just cooking on the pitch. We're cooking off it too. And you do it all on your own, don't you? Well, not anymore. It's not just about the badge on your shirt. It's about what you wear on your sleeve and what that represents. Because this club don't exist without you. You pillars of the community. You champions of industry. You beautiful business owners. Now get out there and show me what you've got!
Our London, real London, nobody stays a stranger. The Bow Bells, our London calling. More than just a place, the Cockney cool heard far and wide. Graft and dedication, together for the ride. Born here, raised or made here, this is home. Our differences unite us, wherever we may roam. Our spirit strong, our pride runs deep. In our London, it's our dreams we keep. Through highs and lows, we rise and shine. Beyond these streets, the Bow Bells chime.
West Ham United legend Jimmy Walker has got himself in a spot of bother.
Hello, Car Insurance, how can we help?
Company motor's broken down. It's match day.
I know just the company for the job.
NWVA. The fastest, most efficient, cost-effective vehicle assistance company in the UK.
Right, Jimmy, let's get into this game, eh?
Nice one, Tom.
NWVA are proud partners of West Ham United.
Hello everyone and welcome to Rush Green for the 8th Premier League 2 match of the season. I'm joined with Mark Phillips. Mark, pleasure to be with you as usual. How are you on this fine Friday, November evening?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm in good fettle and good health, which I wasn't last time. I'm good.
And you still did an exceptional job up here in the gantry, so I expect an even better performance if you're suggesting that. Obviously around us, seeing a few fireworks go around. We'll be hoping for fireworks this evening in West Ham's game against Fulham. I remember last time we spoke a bit about cliches, and that was one already. But yes, looking forward to this game. Of course, it's the 8th game in the Premier League 2. West Ham started the season off exceptionally, had a little bit of form that's kind of dampened their start. How have you? What have you made of West Ham in recent weeks, Mark?
I think they started off above expectations, if I'm honest. They started off really well in the first 4 or 5 games. They've still been playing well performance-wise, but they haven't got quite managed the results. I didn't go to Cheltenham on Tuesday when they played in the EFL Cup. It was streamed by Sky a lot and I watched it. And although we lost 3-1, it's quite a reasonable performance. We scored a really good goal. For want of a better word, and it can happen at that level playing senior teams, we got bullied a little bit. We got bullied physically, and that was apparent. But it's all a learning curve and learning for hopefully when our players go on to bigger and better things.
Well, that's what you'd hope for. Of course, there's a lot of opportunities now for young sides like West Ham to play senior sides. I mean, you've now got the National League trophy. Braintree is their opposition on Tuesday, so more exposure to that higher level or to that more senior level. Obviously that can be very positive for the sides, but what do you fully make of that addition to the football calendar?
I think it's a great addition. I mean, I don't know whose idea it was, but I think it's a great, because you're playing against men, seasoned professionals, can be, late 20s, in their 30s, and they've got, certain things, certain experience, and they know the physicality and their way around the pitch. And that's the sort of things. I mean, all of our players and most academy players are technically proficient. They're really good technically, and they're obviously really fit players. But just certain things, especially from set pieces, certain stuff when the physicality and the use of their body comes into play. I think senior teams and senior National League teams will teach them a thing or two. It's great for experience.
Of course, and with having a look at sides like in the Premier League International Cup, which of course West Ham play in, you also see foreign sides like PSV and those in Spain that play in the reserve leagues in those countries. And I feel obviously we don't have that in England, but we do now have the addition of more competitions for these young sides to play against the senior oppositions. And here they make their way onto the pitch. West Ham looking to try and get back to winning ways as they come into this game off the back of 3 defeats. However, of course, as Mark said, against Cheltenham it was by no means a real mood killer. But here are the teams for this evening. Of course, Mark Robson has named a very changed side since the 3-1 defeat at Cheltenham last week. In goal is Finlay Herrick. However, Ryan Battram comes back into the side at right back with Louis Brown, Josh Briggs and Louis Zhao playing in that defensive 3. Unsure realistically of who the left wing back will be this evening. I suppose maybe Sean Moore when you look at the side in front of you, but Favour for One Me's back in the side. Lewis Orford, of course, the mainstay in the heart of that midfield with Dan Rigg. And looking forward to seeing Brad Dolligan. We're talking about him pre-game. He's obviously had an exceptional game against Benfica, so he'll be looking to try and bring that form into the Premier League too. Of course, Tyrone Akpata in midfield as well. Substitutes for Mark Robson's side: Junior Robinson, Mason Terry, Kamari Swire, who obviously got the goal against Cheltenham, Sean Tarima and Ollie Scarles. As for Hayden Mullins' Fulham, Alex Borto still in goal with Oliver Gofford, Jonathan Asenga, Eddie and Sassy, so of course Tyrone Akpata and Lewis Orford back in that midfield. Slightly too soon there, but now we have the Fulham team sheet. Getting a little too excited, but of course Hayden Mullins' side: Alex Borto in goal, Oliver Gofford, Jonathan Asenga, Eddie and Sassy, Samuel Amisa, Chris Donnell the captain, the young Australian player, the number 6, Aaron Lapalo Bai, Christian Sokolarak, Callum Osmond, Lamar Gordon and Terrell Works. Substitutions for the Whites: Alfie McNally, Damon Park, Macaulay Zepper, Alfie White and Tom Olliott. So they're raring to go. Have you seen much of Fulham this season or in the previous seasons, and what are you expecting from them before going into this game, Mark?
Well, not this season, but obviously over previous years, being involved in lots of different age groups here, 18s, 21s, whatever, you always get a competitive game against Fulham. Always get a competitive game.
So just a minute's silence. So a minute's silence for those that fought in both wars for Great Britain. And now we're ready to go on this Friday night. Fireworks around Rush Green as Fulham take to their position with Brad Dolligan in the centre circle to get proceedings up and running. So West Ham looking to try and get their first win. The last time they won a game was against Chelsea, which we both covered. That was an exciting game. Hopefully we'll see more excitement this time. Of course, West Ham so far have been, apart from the emphatic 5-1 win against Southampton and the 2-0 victory against Brighton, the majority of their games have been won by just a goal. What do you make of their season so far, Mark, and how they can improve now that they've gone down to 5th?
Again, I think they exceeded expectations early doors, doing well with considering how many players we have out on loan at various clubs. I'll be really interested to see tonight the players that have come in have been sort of waiting on the edge of things. You know, like Ryan just taking that, Josh Briggs has just passed that. We've got a lot of changes. Favours on the pitch, as you said, Brad's on the pitch, Dan Riggs. So you know they've been waiting in the wings, and you know they're good footballers, and it's a time to take their chance. Once you've got this shirt and you go on and play well and win the game, then you keep the shirt. So I hope they've got that mentality, and Lewis Brown as well at the back. So we've got a totally sort of different team tonight.
Is there a particular reason for that? Of course, Mark Robson will want to refresh his side, but has he now seen this as a good game to bring in these players all together rather than maybe ease them in one by one?
I think it's a combination of a couple of things. I've just heard, walking to the gantry, that more regular players, if you want, you know, Ollie, Callum Casey, and that, had a quite tough training session with the first team, which is good. That's what we want. So they're a bit fatigued. So maybe that was one of the reasons. And Mark Robson didn't tell me that. But that's just one of the things, and it might be a chance to freshen it up and give these players a chance.
That training session, was that? How recently was that? Was that today or?
I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. But I think it was a particularly physical training session that endured a lot of running.
Of course, Premier League sides will be extremely fit, but that does just show how playing up against these senior players can really tire you out. Fulham trying to create the first attack here of the game, and then Akpata will have something to say there. Which is why, as we were saying before the game, competitions like the National League Trophy, which has just been bought at the beginning of October this year, a very new competition brought to Premier League 2 and National League sides. Of course, West Ham play Braintree on Tuesday. Same with the EFL Trophy, so having these fixtures and these competitions to play senior sides will heavily help them and their development. Akpata out towards Moore, who's playing that Ollie Sculls position down the left back. Of course, we often see Sean Moore sometimes on the right. He's a versatile player, but would you say he has a particular position that West Ham like him on, or are they happy with him wherever?
I think Sean Moore can play anywhere down the left hand side. I thought he might go to Sean Moore now. If he sees him, he's in.
Well, here he is, the man of the moment, putting it in low.
I think Sean can play anywhere up and down the left, really. I mean, he'd probably tell you he'd rather play further higher, which means he's got a reasonable goal scoring record. So when he does get in opportunities, he can finish chances, but he can also play as a left wing back.
Dolligan just trying to beat his man there, but number 4, Eddie and Sassy, was having none of it. Fairly end to end. Held up nicely. Here's Works. Get through Battram, fairly easy as well. And he puts it in low, and it's an early goal for the away side. All came from Terrell Works. The overlap from Asenga, West Ham frustrated. Mark, your verdict?
I think there was 1 second where he squared Ryan up And to be fair to the fella, he noticed it. Ryan, rather than be side on, he looked now there. He gets square and he beats one, and he does beat the second one, and it's just a pull back and a simple tapping. But well done for the winger. To be fair to him, he's gone past two people and produced. As you said before, you must be getting quite experienced at your job. The game was really open. You said it's end to end. It was ridiculous. And most coaches, I know Aidan wouldn't and Robbo wouldn't like it to be. Obviously, coaches pride themselves on being at a tight affair and good football opening them up. The game was too open just before that goal.
Very open, and Fulham looked like wanting to double their lead very quickly. And the goal scorer there was Christian Sekalarak. That's 5 goals in the Premier League 2 this season. An exciting prospect on the books. He joined from Juventus in 2022, although London-born. Played 16 games in each of his last Premier League 2 campaigns. Swiss youngster as well. Lovely ball over the top. Behind Louis out, who's got some defending to do. They fancy the pass. Once again, the goal scorer trying to get a second. Pater will try and clear. Just with that ball over the top, he had so much room.
At the moment, we're far too open. We're not any intricate play, really. It's just a long, straight ball. We do look open, which we haven't done for the rest of the season. So far tonight, we've looked vulnerable.
It feels like the game's barely been played yet. Fulham certainly bringing it to West Ham. And they've got a good side in terms of where they are in the league. Currently third, on the same amount of points as West Ham. In their last 3 games, they've suffered 2 defeats by 6 goals. 6-0 at home to Chelsea. And of course a 7-1 loss to Birmingham, which is a really tough opposition when you think about it in the EFL Trophy.
Yeah.
Realistically a championship level side. So
I think they're going to win the league, Birmingham, if I'm honest, this year in the division. But maybe they've come out of a point to prove for them. Well, no, not maybe, they have. But it's early doors. We can play ourselves into the game, find a bit. We look a bit not lost. That's the wrong thing to say. But our system of play doesn't look like it's been bedded in with these players as yet.
It's still going to be a learning curve. So this game can still be positive for the Hammers. Rigg. Lovely switch out to Battram. Nicely worked from Fulham. Tries to keep his footing. Tricky footwork. Back out to Battram. Good low centre of gravity there from Fulham. It
was nice to make some passes, gets a foothold in the game after conceding. Good, excellent ball from Dan Rigg, as you say.
They're playing a very attacking front 4. Fulham.
Yeah.
The number 7, 10, 11 and 9. And you actually look at their team sheet, they are playing 4 out-and-out forwards.
I wonder if it's something from Hayden. He's looked at knowing we're playing 3 centre-halves and he's thinking, I just put 4 up against them, see how they get on. It's brave, but it can have its advantages.
There's a number 9, Osman, who's been difficult to deal with so far in the opening 8 minutes.
He has. His movement's been good, his pace is good. I don't know him from Adam, but he doesn't look a bad player. For me here, we just dropped a little bit deep. We have to put pressure on the ball. They'll just pick passes for fun if you don't.
Obviously out of the ball. Playing a flat back 5 right now.
Yeah, gone back into that.
Is that how West Ham will want to be playing?
No. I mean, Potsy and Robbo would obviously encourage them to be further up the pitch, to be engaging them higher.
Fulham are showing a real intensity about their game, especially in the attack. not always pressing. Could have been successful.
If you look how many Fulham players have pushed up really high, we break that first line and we've got chances, but they're coming down and not allowing us to break it. We can't get out at the minute.
Controlling the game here, Fulham. They're working it well from the centre out to this left, but that attack is short-lived. An offside has been given.
And when you look at Brad right up the pitch, he's very isolated. So if he tries to press, he's pressing on his own. They're just passing it around him. I think they need to be a little bit higher in general, out of possession.
Nice nudge into Akpata from Orford there. Rigg tries to make that run. It's back to Akpata. Rizal looking up, trying to find Battram. That's almost an awkward header. Not only from the defender, but the goalkeeper having his go as well. This time trying to look dangerous through Fulham. They get the first corner of the game. Good footwork there from Fulham. I've been impressed every time I've seen him this season.
Well, you know, when I was involved in the youth team, he was a regular sub. He'd regularly come on and score or assist. You know, I think he needs more minutes on the pitch. Well, he's getting some tonight, but that's, you know, I think Favour does. Did the keeper come out like Batman there, didn't he?
He did. It just suddenly came out like a flash. West Ham were unable to capitalise with that, but they've got an opportunity here. It was a good delivery. Fulham managed to get the job done.
Don't be offside. Don't get caught offside.
Briggs. Josh Briggs, someone who may be looking to try and break into senior football at some point soon.
Yeah, he's a Northern Ireland international, plays for Northern Ireland regularly at various age groups. Yeah, he's one of those I was talking about waiting on the sideline.
Good ball in from Fulham, maybe slightly too close to the goalkeeper. But he's looked like West Ham's most lively player so far.
And that was with his weaker right foot. I'd say I haven't seen him use it many times in the 10 years that I've known him, but that wasn't a bad delivery. No, he looks bright, he looks sharp. We could keep feeding him, he could be the way in. And as you said earlier, it is an open game.
And obviously in a few of the games we've covered so far, I know Norwich was definitely like that, and even the Premier League International Cup fixtures and Chelsea for a bit of the game, it was very tight, felt like a chess match, whereas here it's just about who wants to have a go more.
Yeah, I agree, there's lots of space on there. There's so much space and they're going to play myself.
Get down there after half time.
I'll be picking passes for fun.
I'm sure. Where would you like to play, Mark?
Centre midfield. Trevor Brooking-esque.
Alongside Orford or Akpata?
No, Luke can do all the running for me. I like his style.
You can just be there.
We've got good numbers this time. We're not bad number-wise. They're 3 and we're 5. So.
Well, we're having a lot of joy.
Yes.
Just after they scored as well. Had their foot firmly on the gas. But we often see this when the game starts off with intensity and a high tempo and it's open, it does then start to die down after a while.
Yeah.
But so far it's been a good affair between these two. Especially if you're a Fulham fan. Good cut out there by Moore. Poor pass out from the back from Briggs. Here's the goal scorer. And the captain, Donald, trying to loft one in. That's nice. That's really nice. Here comes Rigg, darting forward with Fulham just in front of him. Read well by the number 5, Amisa.
Good little passage of play to get that hot out the pitch, and then the final pass that mattered, unfortunately, was cut out. I think they're working on triggers, Fulham. If you watch when we're playing here, if we play anything backwards or square, they'll start to jump us. Here they go. They'll make it, and then we have to go square again. Once we break that press, there's some joy for us. Go on, T. Go on, T. Find it.
Nice run, but unable to get the pass into Dollaghan. There's a poor pass from Fulham. Briggs, you could see he was trying to find Battram, but they were on different wavelengths.
He actually stepped in very well there, Josh Briggs. He was reading it, and it was a square ball for him, but he nicked it. Just got to take care of our pass in the final third a little bit.
Well, it was an early setback, but West Ham have certainly started to find their groove a bit.
Apart from the goal, I don't remember either team having working their keeper, having a chance.
Yeah, but for one meet, poor touch, allowing Fulham to just win it back. Commanding challenge from Briggs there.
I like it there. Josh is high up the pitch, although he's a centre back. He's right. He's in the last half of the third of the pitch. He's winning tackles. They can't really, like they're doing to us. They can't get out like that. Don't know if Robbo's told him to squeeze on a little bit, but he's definitely gone on there.
Seems like Fulham's Callum Osmond is the one that Briggs is on throughout this game. Interestingly enough, of course, West Ham deploy a back three. How long since you've been here have West Ham played a back three at under 21s level?
It depends on the personnel, if I'm honest. If you've got wing backs that they're suited to be wing backs, then we might go into a back three. But if you had a natural four, right back, left back, two centre, it depends really mostly on the personnel. Not always dictated by that, but that's normally the case. The same at under 18s level as well. We're not a team who sets out we've got to play a back three or anything like that, and we don't really mirror what the first team play. So Robbo obviously thinks that's the best shape though. Ryan Battram and Sean Moore playing as two wing backs. I mean, everyone has every coach at every level has different preferences of how they want their team to play, what system they want to play, and I see pluses and minuses for playing a back three, or pluses and minuses playing a back four. Mine's favour just sat down.
One me down on the floor. I mean, it's an interesting concept when the under 21 side may not play similar tactics to the first team. Usually now you see the first team have their tactics emulated by the age groups below.
It's never really, last year I was involved in the 21s, I'm not this year. It's never really been spoke of, even when David Moyes was here, it's never, I want you to play this way. If it was a particular player coming back down from the first team, coming back from injury, then he might say, I want him to play in this position, in this system. But on the whole, they don't really, they haven't in West Ham anyway, dictated the way that the 21s play or the 18s. I mean, I think Robbo will have, because Robbo was the first team last year, Mark Wilson, wasn't he? And he'll have discussions with first team staff, what they want and what they see, and take it from there.
So for one, he's still just on the sideline, but he's going to come back on. A bright spark so far for the Hammers this evening. It would be disappointing for him to be forced off early as well.
Yeah, because this is one of the chances he's got a starting berth, so he wants to make the most of it. And as you say, he's done quite well so far.
Only played 45 minutes of Premier League 2 action this season.
Yeah.
Remember, he came on with Brad Dollaghan in the Premier League International Cup game against Benfica when they were 2-0 down, and they both changed the game.
Yeah, I mean that night Brad was exceptional. I was really pleased for Brad because, as I say, last year I was still involved with the 21s, and when he came in from Worthing, I was involved in some of the sessions, and he didn't look shell shocked, but he looked a little bit at the pace of it. But he said such a good goal scoring record, and I was pleased for him. I took him actually to the Hong Kong tournament, get it wide left.
Oh,
what's wrong?
The Hong Kong tournament.
Yes, Hong Kong Sevens.
Here's West Ham in the meantime. Dolligan, the player there.
Yeah, I took Brad out. They scored a couple of goals actually.
And was that for West Ham?
Oh yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
I don't work for anybody else but West Ham United. I've been 6 or 7 times to the Hong Kong Sevens. It's a really great tournament, and I sort of, because I'm the one who goes, I take the team and pick the team and decide who goes. And Brad went and done okay.
How was that experience for the players?
Yeah, they really love it. It's a great, not only a football experience, it's a great life experience. It's fantastic. And they really look at, there's quite a lot of West Ham fans who live in Hong Kong.
Well, they're everywhere.
We are massive. But
absolutely.
They make a big fuss of us, take us out on a boat trip and really look after us in the week we're there. Really good.
And with the way that works, I take it you bring out more than just 7 players, of course, maybe a bench as well.
Yeah, you're allowed 10 players and 4 members of staff.
Any other players who were the other players that joined Brad and you on that trip?
Sean Moore, Patrick Kelly, Michael Forbes. We had a decent side.
Yeah, that's an experienced side at this level.
Yeah, if I'm honest, before we went, because I say I've been several times, I fancied us to do quite well, and unfortunately we didn't really. Well, we got beaten in the quarters by Brighton, who actually went on to win it, Brighton.
What's the stadium infrastructure like in Hong Kong?
Well, it's played at a thing called the Hong Kong Football Club, and you have like good crowds on Saturday and Sunday. 7,000 or 8,000 people come and watch it. That's good.
That's
good.
impressive.
Yes, it's a very good tournament.
Is it a yearly thing?
Yes, every year. Yes, it's normally always FA Cup final weekend.
Okay, brilliant.
And they always say to me, "You coming next year?" I said, "Not if West Ham's in the cup final." Unfortunately, I've gone every year so far for a few years.
Well, either West Ham being in the FA Cup final or West Ham being out in Hong Kong. Two brilliant experiences nonetheless.
I have a question for you, actually, talking about the FA Cup final.
Yes.
West Ham played Fulham in the FA Cup final in 1975. We won 2-0. Can you tell me the goal scorers?
Trevor Booking-Brace?
No, you're thinking of Trevor Booking because of 1980. But no, it was a brace, but not by Trevor Booking.
Okay. My West Ham 1975 knowledge may be a little bit limited. Do you want to tell the viewers at home? And myself, of course.
They're all shouting at the telly that it's Alan Taylor.
Alan Taylor, I'm sorry. You were at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game.
Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah. I was at most
what an experience.
I was at most of the games that year. We played Southampton in the 3rd round. No, I took a dive, fella. No, good refereeing.
Fulham annoyed at that.
Yeah, Southampton in the 3rd round. I can't remember who had in the 4th round. Then we had, I remember Arsenal in the quarter-finals at Highbury. Very memorable day. Alan Taylor scored 2 that day as well.
What a successful season. And Highbury as well.
Highbury.
Winning there away.
There's something else I can say about it. All I'm going to say is the North Bank, and I'll just leave it at that. There's a few people who know what I mean, and a lot won't.
Well, if you do let us know and comment. Do like and comment on the video and subscribe to the West Ham YouTube channel. Of course, we will be live for the West Ham Braintree game next Tuesday as well. Slight nervousness there for those watching. You could hear by your sound effect, Mark, but it's all fine now as Akpat will try and get it forward.
I think we've played well up until the final third after the goal. We just haven't really created a chance or worked their keeper. We're getting loads of possession.
Well, here's Rigg. Unable to work the keeper as the defender does his job there. Still alive for West Ham though. Patram tried playing it in, but the deflection worked out well for Fulham as they now tried to come forward. Good work from Akpata. It's against Gordon. Warford trying to order for me to get forward.
Great pass. Go on, Shawnee.
The eyes across. Dolligan's there, just beyond him. It's a good ball. Asenga, the fullback and number 3 for Fulham, had to head it away. But it looked like Orford was just a bit frustrated at Fuwunmi there for not playing the...
Yeah, he wanted it quicker. I think, obviously, taking my biasness into consideration, we have sort of took control of the game last 5 or 10 minutes. Haven't created enough chances to work the keeper, but we have got the lion's share of possession.
So Rigg's close and short, but Fuwunmi favours the cross. It looked dangerous as they call for it from Akpata. Batram. Warford, you can see, doing a lot of the organising and communicating. Here's Dolligan. Looked like he fancied a strike just briefly.
Look at this play, favours him. Oh, it's not the best pass.
Fuwunmi, low ball in!
Oh.
What an opportunity that was. I think it was Josh Briggs.
It was indeed. It was indeed. I've said before, I don't think Josh, his goal scoring is his prowess, and then he scored a goal in the Youth Cup final at Arsenal. So, and he came and saw me straight away about me saying it. So, good chance. Good. That's got to be our best chance of the night so far. Worked it well as well, actually.
Really nicely worked. This is well worked for the time being from Fulham. Good touch. Scuffed there from Gordon. Well read by Batram to find Fuwunmi, but an excellent challenge from Asenga. Got a bit of Fuwunmi as well, but he's all good and is up on his feet. I feel like we haven't really looked at our left for a while, Mark.
No. In fact, when that corner come out before our chance, I thought Sean Moore should have hit it first time. He sort of really wanted to steady himself. He just took a chance. Get up, get up, get up, get up. There you go.
Pressure from Dolligan.
Should be there. Should be there already. Good play.
Lovely play from Fulham.
It was good play. But now they've done that. Look at the gaps they've left. Look at the gaps. Come on, Sean. Take him on.
He said
take him
it.
on.
Get
Take
through
him
their
on.
press.
Take him on. I'm not going to get there, I don't think.
Testing the keeper. Unable to find the West Ham player. And now look at this. It feels like it's West Ham's turn to attack and then it's Fulham's.
Yeah.
And that seemed like it could be the narrative in the opening 10 minutes. But Fulham looking to just calm things down there briefly. Just before then it was Callum Osmond and Lamar Gordon who tried to link up, and if they had done, it would have been a serious opportunity for the away side. Donnell. Rigg, of course, a fairly versatile attacker, you'd say so.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good footballer, Dan. He's got good feet. I mean, he come from Manchester City and he's been there many years as a schoolboy, and you've got to be technically a good player to be in the academy at City. So
sprayed out. Here's Paulo Bai. The goal scorer slipping it through. It will be a corner, the first Fulham corner. As we reach the half-hour mark, Both sets of players thinking it should have gone their way.
I don't think the ref had a Scooby. That's not a pop at him. He just didn't know, so he just thought, what shall I do in the end and just give it that way. That's not
give it to whoever shouted high or louder.
That's not the Gallagher's. I mean, I didn't have a clue from here, but he was a bit nearer than me. They'll end up scoring from it, and I'm saying it's the ref's fault, but it's harsh on the fella.
Bit like a pantomime show. Whoever shouts the loudest in the audience wins.
You got it.
And Fulham won it there. So this could be a little bit controversial if West Ham really believe that they shouldn't have had the corner. Fulham struck. Whoa, what a save. Affirmative save there from Finlay Herrick.
Good save. It didn't bounce out. He held it. Looked great in the air. There's one he'll be looking at. He likes looking at his saves, Finn. He'll be watching it later on into the night.
Well, enjoy that one, Finlay.
Good handling though. I mean, not only made the save, he held the ball, which you don't see many goalkeepers doing this day and age. So many goalkeepers pat it out and fist it. He actually held it a good catch.
Why do you think that is? If goalkeepers intentionally don't try to hold it, or maybe it's just the way the balls are now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a long time ago. I'm an old geezer, but when I was playing and we was at school, it was all about catching it, and that was without the gloves they got now. But now it seems to be, get it out of the danger zone. You don't see as many catch saves. They'll push it around the post or they'll punch it somewhere, a bit like their keeper's been doing. But he done well there, Finn. Good handling. That's good play from Fulham, to be fair.
Once again, here's Lamar Gordon. Louise out. Of course, props does go to this strike as well from Christian Sekularak. Would have been a fine second.
Yeah. I noticed Fulham are very good at getting 2v1 situations in the wide areas. They recognise it as a trigger when they've got 2v1 and they're sliding the balls towards the byline. That's where the goal comes from, and that's where they're getting the joy.
Ryan Batram's had a hard job in that right side for West Ham. They feel fairly versatile. The fullback likes to join in the attack with the 10 and the number 11.
Here it is again.
It's a poor first touch, and luckily for West Ham, they come away with the corner. One funny thing, I know I said about the fireworks, I don't think I haven't heard a firework going off this evening through my headphones, Mark.
I'm not sure if it's to celebrate Guy Fawkes or it's Diwali. Actually not sure of it. I think it might be Diwali. I'm honest. But you're right, there's fireworks everywhere.
As long as it's not Halloween.
That was last night, I believe.
Yeah.
Again! Eddie man! Eddie!
I'm surprised you don't get rented out at Halloween.
Yeah, I was walking up the street the other day and saw people wearing masks of me.
I'm going to retract that. It's just absolute banter. It was a tapping.
It was an absolute tapping. A classic joke. Lucky I've got thick skin.
You could be offended and ask never to work with me again.
I could put in a formal complaint. Ooh. Contacting HR immediately, and for one me though.
We're still in.
Keeping it in.
Get in.
My word, a brilliant couple of strikes there from West Ham, unable to find the back of the net.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair to the keeper, he's got blocks on, he's got a thing in, centre halves have got blocks on. They've done well to keep us out from equalising there. They was appealing for a foul on the keeper. It was actually their own player, I think, who collided with him. Fulham was saying it's a free kick. It was actually a Fulham player. Get in.
Another good chance. I mean, for one me, his corner taking's been very good.
Yeah. Listen, Faber's a decent footballer. As I say, when I was involved in the youth team and he was regularly on the bench, he'd always come on and make something happen, assist or get a goal himself. He was a great sub to have. Not saying he's always as hard, there's more to him than that, but I'm just saying he was a great asset to have. I mean, our Youth Cup winning team was a hard team to get into. And he was patient, he never moaned. Just showed due diligence to get in. Go on, right?
Why do you think he hasn't had the minutes then given to him this season as an under-21?
He had a bad injury. He's come back from a bad injury. and he's just sort of returning to full fitness.
Briggs popping up on this right side. Here's Rigg popping up in a wing-back role. Well whipped by Orford. There he is again. Unable to pull that off. Real Governor General in that midfield. The captain.
Yeah.
He's got the quality, although it wasn't seen there with that pass out to the left.
He's got the quality and confidence to try that sort of pass though.
Always calling for the ball.
Yeah. I mean, that is where the loan system works really, because if they hadn't gone out on loan, it would have been George Earthy or someone like that. George was at Bristol City. It would have been George or someone like that. It's allowed Lou to come in and be the senior player, which is great. It's all about experience. I mean, obviously we're trying to win games, of course we are. It's all about experience and developing players so they can hopefully one day play for our first team.
You'd see Orford on the trajectory to getting a loan out, or to at least playing senior football in the next year to 18 months.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Which will be exciting to see.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's good about this job, and coming here to watch these players, just as a commentator, being able to see all these players.
Yeah. And then that's the exciting part of my job, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, even more so for you.
Yeah, no, seeing players come, even seeing players from other teams, you know. I've seen players in under, I've been involved in 14s, 15s, 16s, 18s, 21s. See players from there coming through and saying, no, they're going to be a good player. Some of them have surprised me and been really good, and other players who've been excellent at schoolboy level haven't really gone on and done it. And you think, why not? But it's often the way.
Well, it's funny, really, when you look at a lot of top-level footballers, it's kind of like a split, more so towards the academies, but a lot of players will start off in those top quality academies, those category A, but then an awful lot of players, I mean, you'll even get some players now who are 18, 19, 20 playing in non-league that could have a career where they end up being a Premier League footballer at the age of 29.
Yeah, I think the last World Cup, if you look at lots of the England team, lots of them started, Cat 2 academies, lower down, made their way through, made their way in. So, whatever level you're playing at, you can always still make it if you're at the right age and there's enough years in front of you. I think it's gone for me now, it's 62, I don't think I'm going to make it.
Still hope.
No, I couldn't even get in the
You
England.
can replace Orford when he goes on loan next year.
I couldn't even get, this is not a joke, I couldn't even get in the England over 60 side.
Oh no.
I went
for controversial call.
It is, I went for 2 trials, kept the ball for fun, and the fellow won't having me.
Is it just bias?
I don't think he knew a lot about the game, the geezer.
So ignorant, naivety.
England,
says Mark.
England over 60s.
So they have an England under 60 side. Is that?
Yeah, no, honestly, I went for 2. I'm not a joke. I went for a trial.
Walking football?
No, better than that.
Good.
We played against. Actually, it's a foul.
Oh.
I wish Ollie Scholes was on the pitch right now. That is right in his area.
Scholes territory, but this time it'll probably be perhaps for Woodmeat.
Yeah, just screaming out for a left footer. Screaming out.
Just as we wait for the free kick, tell us a little about the England over 60s then.
Yeah.
What's the game plan? What's the fixtures like?
The goalkeeper is I played with him at various non-league things, and he said, you're just what we need for the England. And I thought, well, I'd love to go and represent my country, just play one game with the shirt on. And I played in a couple of tournaments for him. I thought I'd done all right, actually, if I'm honest. But the geezer didn't, so there we go. I've got to wait. There's actually England over 65s, and there's a new manager. If I'm still walking, then I might knock on the door and see how we get on. It's got to be favour, isn't it? He's left the other side of the goal, though.
It is favour. There's power behind that, not the accuracy.
I wonder if it was going to be a decoy and then Lewis go the other side, because he left that side of the goal, didn't he?
It was wide open.
It was. So if you fancy a game for England's over 60s, I'll give them a call for you.
Well, yeah, I think that probably would be. I think that probably would be my standard. No disrespect to the over 60s. I mean, probably even worse if you're talking about my ability, which is why I'm stood up here. Callum Osman, frustrated, hands on his head. He was unable to keep that in.
You know why you stood up here?
Pardon?
You know why you stood up here?
Why is that?
Because you love football.
Of course.
No, you do.
Well, absolutely. Football and talking.
No, but you love the game, really. You actually love the game because you're involved in non-league, you're involved in this, you love the game. And that is why people like me at my age still work at academies, because I love football. And there's a lot of people who actually love the game. People say they love the game, but they don't actually love the game. They love what they think's around it and all things about it. But I actually love the game, the different aspects of it. Quite a sad thing to say, but true. I love my wife as well, if she's listening, but I do love the game.
Spoke more about football than your wife, but then it is a football game. I mean, you said sad. I was going to say rather philosophical.
Oh, thank you.
I think that was really philosophical if I'm looking at it in a positive light.
No, I see lots of people who work in football and some of them couldn't kick a ball to save their lives. And I think, why are they working? And it's because they actually love the game.
I suppose, yeah, if you've...
Go on, bud. We haven't got enough bodies in the box.
Mulligan taking it to the byline and taking the ball out of play.
Yeah, I mean, he had no option there, really. He's got to the byline in possession and there just wasn't anyone coming in. Anyway, do you love football? You just tell me.
I do love football. Thanks, Mark, for noticing that. Love football and West Ham, of course.
Of course you do.
Of course, that's why I'm here.
It's a long way back to your car without saying anything like that about West Ham.
No, wouldn't dare. Of course, there's so many avenues in the game. Although it is just seen as a game, it's a way of life as well. If we're really continuing this philosophical chat for the time being.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Definitely. Well played, Luke. Well played, Luke. See it.
That's why I find it so successful as a sport.
Yeah.
For one meet, trying to poke it through. Instead, Fulham will try and win it back. Once again, Briggs reading it well there, nicely.
Yeah, he's playing much higher up the pitch. What a pass. Come on, Sean. Come produce something. Dan, hit it.
Just trying to be quite clean with that.
Yeah, just trying to be... I thought we were just spinning hit it in the corner, really. Again, we're well in this game. We just haven't put the ball over the line.
There it is. I think Rigg, do you think he could have had the strike? He was in a fairly congested area, which is why he may have tried the chip over the top.
It's one of those, if you do have a shot, catches a deflection, goes a little bit of ping pong, it goes in like that. It's never going to be absolutely always perfect for you. Sometimes, you know, don't buy a ticket, you won't win a raffle, as my dad used to say.
Cliche number 2
That's a foul
of the live stream.
It's a foul referee, the first one. Play Brad.
And they keep it.
Go on, Bats. We're mainly looking to our right, so we are sort of mainly, as the game's gone on, been played in their half. But they're obviously still very dangerous on the break, as they've shown.
Well, with all their attacking threat that they have, when they scored in the first, second minute.
Yeah, very early on. Yeah.
Of course, if you're just joining us, Fulham looking at trying to make it 2 wins in 2 in the Premier League 2. Christian Sekelarak, the number 8, who's chasing Luizao down there. He's looking for a brace. Here's Luizao. Once again.
With the 2 results you said that Fulham have previously had, it would have been lovely for us to go in front, because obviously their confidence might have been a little bit dented. Getting in front early on has obviously given them, not something to cling on to, that's the wrong terminology, but give them, you know,
giving them that boost.
Give them a boost. That's the word.
It's an imperative boost, especially when you've had 2 6-0 or 6 goal defeats in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
5-2 win against Sunderland though, 5 games ago, and lost to Maidenhead 2-0.
No, Fulham are a decent academy, produce decent players, and they're always competitive. Always competitive. Apart from in the 1975 Cup final. It was actually, we didn't play that well that day, but we won 2-0.
Ball in from Moore. Oh, Donegan's header ended up looking like a pass to Fulham. Rigg, lovely footwork. And go out to Brown. Warford fancies one. Over the woodwork.
When he moved his feet and got it onto, I fancy Lou definitely to have a pop and to test the keeper.
Well, he bought a ticket. He just couldn't quite win the raffle. It will be 1 minute added on. For the last minute, of course, you've done your question on me, Mark. Mentioned Maidenhead just now. They lost 2-0 in the new National League trophy. Which current West Ham first team players started their career off at Maidenhead?
Oh, I thought he was asking about the manager and Devonshire. Started. Oh, I tell you, it's this Max Kilman.
You've got it. Well, I shouldn't have doubted, of course.
I was all ready to say Alan Devonshire. That's why I'm really surprised. Yeah.
Scooped over by Donnell. So going into the half-time break, what do you think Mark Robson will be saying if you had a crystal ball?
I think a lot of keep on doing what you're doing, because apart from putting the ball in the net, we're controlling large parts of it, we're creating chances, just haven't put the ball away. I'd just like a little bit more support up with Brad, really. Something that's been a little bit isolated.
And that support, do you think it could come from Rigg? There is the half-time whistle.
Yeah, it could come from Dan, it could come from either side, from Favour, or maybe from Sean, but just get bodies around him. That's what I think we need. But good entertaining open half. Just we're unfortunate just to be that one goal down.
Well, the break. The referee has called for the break now, but this is what got us off underway. Ryan Battram not wanting to look at that one again. Which is fairly unfortunate there, Ryan Battram. What do you make of that defending?
I think he got a little bit square. He got a little bit squared up. If you look at Fulham's number 3, the overlap for him, although he wasn't used, there he comes there. He comes there. So Ryan is aware of him. He's aware of him. He just got himself squared up a little bit, and then he's seen Josh again got squared up. And he's done well in number 11, to be fair. And it's a simple tap in that I think himself should have scored. But I did notice their numbers in the wide areas, but when they get in that area, their wider fullbacks are getting on. Although he didn't get involved in that move, the fullbacks, that's where their threat is coming from.
Well, West Ham will look to try and get an early equaliser in this second half. They've looked good throughout the rest of the first, just need a bit more killer instinct in their final third. It ends here in the half-time, or after the first half. Fulham 1, West Ham 0. We'll be back in just under 15 minutes' time for the start of the second half. Welcome back, everyone, for the start of the second half. Both sets of players back out on the pitch. Just trying to have a look to see if there have been any changes, but by the looks of it, it's going to be the same starting 11s who began the game. That'll begin the second half. Joined with Mark Phillips on co-commentary. So Mark, Fulham got off to a brilliant start. They're going to get us off underway. What do you think their manager, Aidan Mullins, would have been saying to his players in that 15-minute break?
Well, they've played to a plan, and I think there's no reason for them to stop playing to a plan. I think that it's an obvious thing to say. The next goal is really important. If Fulham was to get it, obviously a 2-goal deficit's massive. If we was to get it, I would put my head above the parapet and say the fans just to go on and win it.
Well, obviously you've had a brilliant campaign in terms of coming back from defeat in the International Cup. 2 games where you've been 2-0 down, and when it's looked really unlikely that you'd get back into it, you do. Fulham, of course, though, providing a tough team to break down. We did mention how West Ham just need to be a bit better in that final third.
Yeah, and that was exactly the picture we just saw there. We broke on and we got behind the lines, a bit careless with the final ball. I think, as I say, though we're well in the game, we haven't had that many clear-cut chances, so we can produce some second half.
Favour for one me who's playing down that right centre channel right now, just outside the D. Dangerous player in that first half. But Fulham look dangerous now. Bombing forward is their goal scorer, Sakularak. He's got his full-back on the overlap. Palmed away by Herrick, but still alive for Fulham. Gordon. Orford doing some defensive work as Fulham have West Ham on the back foot, but it was a smart save there. And a good header away too. The find Rig. Manages to just wriggle out of trouble there, if you pardon the pun.
I think you had too many rigs there, didn't you?
You could tell. Stumbling over my words.
That was a tap-in. They've come out the blocks for them, they really have.
Just like in the first half.
Block.
It was a good block, and it'll be the first corner.
There was a good tackle actually Ryan Batcham made just before that attack. It was a very similar situation to the one they scored at. Ryan stood up and won the ball, and then he got a good block in there. So they come out the blocks for them, really have. As saying, they know they get this goal and they go 2-goal up, then they obviously fancy themselves then to get all 3 points.
Well, we know our game can just change instantly. Saw it almost at Chelsea a few weeks ago here at Rush Green. Where, of course, West Ham are 3-1 up. And it was a goal from Chelsea's Harvey Vale. That got the second. And all of a sudden it looked like Chelsea could have managed to get something out of it. So all it takes is an opportunity to be put home. Often find this with teams, however, where they can start off strong in both halves and then at the same time their opposition manages to suss them out perhaps, or they just start to fall off. Could that be the same with Fulham? I suppose time will tell, but they've been good so far.
I hope you're right, because they've started off strong here again. They really have. And the only thing that's different, they haven't got a goal this half, but they have started off really, really well. Maybe we can weather the storm, see it out, come on strong. Great ball, Finn.
Lovely ball from Eric. Mulligan just having to kind of come back a bit.
Overlap. That's gone the wrong way for me. Get it in. Oh, should have gone mine for me there.
Just wide from Fornmeat. But I think, Mark, you made it clear he should have gone on the overlap.
Touche, sir, touche. I often get my needle stuck. I can just keep saying it until he does it. Overlap. He didn't do it. Yeah.
Hoping he's watching the stream somehow. I don't know if he'll be able to hear up here. Akpata. Orford. From range. 2 players feeling the force of that Orford strike for Fulham. Oh. Rigg was around it. Alex Borto, the goalkeeper.
I'd put that down as a genuine chance. I think Riggy just lifts that over him and it's 1-1. And to be fair to the keeper, he shut the angle down very well quickly.
Of course, he was in goal for Fulham's 6-0 defeat against Chelsea. However, he had 16 efforts against him, saving 10. So although the scoreline wasn't glamorous, you could argue he kept his side, well, I would say in it, but you can't really say you're in it when you're 6-0 down, but certainly made it the scoreline better than what it could have been.
Yeah, fair due to the fella. I mean, the 6-0 down, still making saves, showing concentration.
He was showing a lot of concentration there. Wasn't particularly busy in that first half. There was a period, though, where West Ham had a few efforts on goal that he had to be alert for.
I think Josh Briggs' chance was the better one.
Of course, he wasn't required there, but that was certainly West Ham's best chance.
Favour. No, I should have gone the other way.
Or should he? Here's Moore. Chasing it to the byline. West Ham will get a corner.
It's easy to have superb vision from up here. It's different when you're on the pitch, obviously, but I could see Favour in acres of space. I think, again, with the numbers, and Lou Alford has got the quality to pick those passes out. He really has.
Noticing a slight trend. Everything you're asking West Ham to do, they've done the opposite. But it hasn't worked. So perhaps you need to be down there on that touchline. Alford with the low ball in. Batram to Rigg.
Ooh, we don't like turning it over there. We don't like that.
Look at Briggs darting back, but still allowing Gordon to get through. Briggs not giving up though. Nice triangular work there, just managing to get away from that West Ham pressure for them. Nicely done. Donnell. Now Nassasi. Here is Sekularak. Finding Alaupo by, and Fulham get a second. Opening the scoring 7 minutes into this second half. Not quite as early as what it was in the first, but it's West Ham 0, Fulham 2.
Excellent movement from the 9. Excellent. It was on the plate from the cross, but if you watch the 9's movement across the 6-yard box, I think this is good football here. But if you watch the 9's movement when he comes across the box, he's there, dictated to him, bang, just give it to me. And his movement is the key for that for me. He's just made his mind, said, I'm going to be in there, give it to me. Give it to me. Bang.
Superb finish.
Yeah, it was.
That was pristine, the side of his foot.
We said early doors, he's shown good movement there, 9, to be fair, hasn't he? And that there was just all about movement. And that's what a lot of finishing is. If you're on the move in the box, you normally get yourself half a yard away from a defender, and then the rest is just a little bit of quality. And that was it. We've got an uphill battle now, we really have.
And here, the player who got the assist to the assist, Christian Sekularak, ordering his players, let's get the third. What a run this is from Fornmeat. Riggs lurking. There he is again, the player that scored Fulham's first, Sekularak, winning it back. And just as we were looking to our left, we're now looking to our right. But that's good defensive work, an important interception there from Briggs. Now Dollaghan, my word. Left to right, right to left.
Go on, bud.
Good run. Look how much space Riggs in. Fornmeat to his right. Orford outside the area. Fornmeat just having to hold it up. Oh, look how organised Fulham are as well outside of possession. And they've got to hold off Rigg here. West Ham are managing to find a way through. But can they make it count? Dollaghan with a fancy flick. Unable to find that corner.
Fulham are set and they're in there as a low block. They're quite narrow. They're narrow. If you look at them, most of them, just the width of the penalty box. So I think our joy will be to get it out wide, get it there, get to the byline, and just get a few more bodies in there rather than have 1 against 4 in there. We have got to the byline on a few occasions. Fulham, they're a good, resolute defensive side, but just from here I can see they're narrow.
Of course, you've got Junior Robinson on the bench, Ollie Scarles as well.
Yeah, I don't know if they're on sometimes they might be from the sports scientists some sort of minutes. I'm not really sure. They might be. They've only got 35, 40 minutes or whatever. They might come on as mass. I really don't know.
Do you think sports science is a thing for the England over 60s side? Or is it a bit more old-fashioned?
It's definitely a bit more old-fashioned, but they have introduced me. You will laugh at this at the end. They've introduced me to ice baths, right?
Oh wow!
Even at 62 years of age, and if you have an ice bath, although it's absolutely the pain of it's laughable, it's ridiculous. But if you can sit through 2 minutes of it, you feel brand new, absolutely brand new to play again.
The same with a cold shower as well. It's not a craze at the moment. I suppose it's just the idea of delayed gratification.
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
Yeah,
you're feeling the pain to feel brilliant afterwards. It's the same with a run.
Yeah.
Same with anything like that. And it is worth it.
No, it is. I mean,
so I know where you're coming from.
You wouldn't believe it looking at me, but I actually do a lot of running.
Well, that's so valuable. With an ice bath, have you got an ice bath of yourself, or is it just a case of whack the shower to the coldest setting?
And whack the shower to the coldest. I haven't got a bath in my ass.
Could be fancy and get one of those specially designed ones. Maybe get a.
Well, it's funny to say that I'm looking to move house. Actually, we was looking at new houses today, me and the missus. So if we do move, I'll make sure it's got a bath in it.
I think that should be a priority.
After me hour-long 10k run.
Oh wow, that's good effort.
Good effort. I've done the London Marathon twice. I've done about 50 half marathons, man.
I don't want to use effort as if I'm degrading your achievements.
You're thinking of weight. You're looking at me and thinking, he can't be doing that. You know, the size of him. Look, he's a big lump. I can run a little bit. I can run and swim. Come on, Faith.
Backed into the stands.
I wonder if Mark and Steve, don't seem to be. I wonder if I was looking to make a change to freshen it up a little bit, but everyone's just sort of sitting tight there now. Where are the subs? Hold up.
I think they're behind. They're in the bench behind them, which we can't see from this gantry right up here. Of course, we were once in that gantry.
Fulham's 4 subs are up there stretching to our right.
Steve Potts and Mark Robson not wanting to use the substitutions as of yet.
Don't forget Gerald Prendeville either. He's the 3rd coach. Great coach, by the way.
Props to him as well.
He's actually, in my eyes, the best one-to-one coach in the academy. When you're actually coaching a single player, Gerard is the best at it.
How long has he been at the club for?
10 years, something like that. Been there 10 years. Been done various age groups, but actually doing one-to-one stuff, he's the best there is.
Has a good rapport with the players, I take it then?
Yeah, and he just really goes out there, takes his time. I mean, I don't know if you know Gideon Kadua, who is he's one of our 21's players. He's actually he's on loan at.
Yes, of course.
He's on loan at Wickham. I'd say Gerard, it's got a lot to do with really pushing Gid's career on. Really has. He's a very unassuming fella, Gerard. He wouldn't say anything about it, but he deserves a lot of credit.
One of those incredibly significant people behind the scenes, of course.
Yeah,
playing a key role in the development that you don't really see. All the first team managers get the praise, and
yep. I'm not going to. It's not slighting our first team manager, but there's lots of age groups throughout the academy. Our under 16s coaches, Ricky and Giorgio, and under 18s, Loris and Zoe. They all do loads of sterling work, and they don't get the praise really. I mean, I'm not name dropping, but I've got a lot of kudos and praise for Declan Rice because I was involved in a lot of his career. But when I still talk to Dec, obviously, but a lot of coaches get forgotten and players don't remember who they are, but they've helped them on their journey.
Rice does seem like the player, though, to have the decency to remember those from the who have helped him so.
And he really is. And he comes from a top family, the top people. He really does. He's always offering me Arsenal tickets, which I have no interest in whatsoever.
Perhaps in the West Ham end when you play at the Emirates.
Oh yeah, I don't go. But
you'll be the first one on his WhatsApp. Curled effort in as Fulham look for a third. Just wide.
I actually thought it was in. From this angle, he's got.
It looked like it.
I thought it was in.
And then that would really be
game
over.
In all fairness to Finn, he just looked at it, so he must have got his angles right and knew it was going wide.
Here's Rigg. A few West Ham players now warming up. Scarl's one of them, with Tarima and Swire.
I'm not sure the maximum you can bring on in this competition now. Is it 3? Is it 4?
It is 5.
Oh, is it?
I think 5 for all divisions now. I know non-league have started doing 5 this season. Says a lot about the game now, I suppose, with all these big squads and 5 substitutions now seeming necessary. Yeah. Is that something you like?
I don't think. I don't think the more the better, because it just benefits the clubs with all the money to have all the talent, and some of it's on their bench. You know, I'm so old. I'm used to when it was just one sub. I remember when before Keith Peacock was the very first sub in a game. So I don't know, one is not enough with the pace of the game. You need injury subs. One's ridiculous, but I wouldn't encourage more if I'm honest. But then again, in saying that, I'm going to contradict myself here. Yeah, it does give young players a chance, especially in European games or Carabao Cup games. If you can have more subs, then maybe you can get what I'm about is getting our homegrown players on the pitch. So I'm sort of like.
We would hope next year with the players on loan, Gideon Coddier, as you just mentioned, George Earthy, Michael Forbes at Bristol Rovers, Callum Marshall, they could be breaking into the senior side next season, coming back after being exposed to senior football.
I couldn't agree more. But it's not my decision, and I'm not putting any pressure on anyone, but that would please me as a long-standing West Ham fan and employee.
Well, I hope for your sake, Mark, that happens. Not for West Ham's sake now, for Fulham to find a third. It looked like they could have just created something, but decided to just play it back and control it. Unable to control that pass there, as Batcham finds the ball at his feet. That's a poor pass.
You're being polite.
And then that's another pass there as well.
Good numbers.
Akpata.
Go quick with good numbers.
Now more. Here's Sean Moore frustrated, ordering his players to get in the box.
And using a few expletives on top of that. No, but he was, but
just tried to brush that out.
If you notice what I'm looking for, I said good numbers. We had a 5v3 there. That is the time to go for them quick. And that's, to be fair to Fulham, that's what they've done. They've recognised that and they've hit us, and the numbers are good.
Just a bit timid though from West Ham. I mean, if they had 5-on-3, how come they weren't able to?
Yeah,
I mean,
the box? I'd probably describe it as a little bit too polite. No, be a bit more aggressive. Really go for the jugular a little bit. And that is where when the likes of our players who play all the time, they would recognise that and they might be more aggressive.
Brown putting a lot of
well done,
pressure on Sukularak there. That was a bit of a size difference as well, but Brown passed the assignment.
I think it was a bit of 6 or 1.5. They were both pulling each other's shirts and played low, pick him out.
Moore, who's been given the ball a lot down this left-hand side, unable to beat his first man in Eddie Nassasi.
Yeah, as I say, I think it's worked because their defensive area is just the penalty box width, and there is also outside the penalty box. There's room for us to play. That's where we're getting a bit of joy.
Unable to get joy from that switch, but here's Briggs. Bawunmi. Wolford trying to provide an option. Gordon pushed by Bawunmi.
And when we talk about development of players, we're looking. Let's just look at Lewis Alford, who's probably might have the most chance in our team to go on and maybe play for our first team. This is a great learning curve, and we're losing to make sure he keeps going, see what he's doing, see what he's got about himself. So it's not just about winning games comfortably; it's about
their attitude.
Attitude.
When the going gets tough on the pitch, and I think that's a really interesting point, because a lot of people think, no, you've got to be winning 5, 6, 7 games in a row to show your worth, but actually it's interesting you say that, Mark, because attitude is more important than talent sometimes.
As I say, obviously we want to win every game we start, from under 9s to the first team, of course we do, but it's also about, in the development thing, looking at players and seeing what they can do. So far tonight, I think Lewis Alford's done very well in his attitude, and the scoreline hasn't affected him. He just keeps going, making tackles, making runs forward. So that's a plus, and in his box. Or is it a tick in his box? Which one is it? We'll take a tick.
It was a tick in his box. He ticks the box of attitude. That's for sure. And remember you mentioning about Tyrone Akpata's attitude as well.
Well, I told you the story of Tyrone was told he wasn't getting a contract here, and he could have sulked, he could have gone and played somewhere else, or I'm going to go and trial somewhere. He's got his nut down, got playing for the 18s, was excellent in that part of the season, and earned his own contract, earned it. Not that many people do that after being saying they're not getting one.
Good mentality shown from the two central midfielders so far. Any others that you feel show real good attitude in this under-21 side?
I think, obviously, I think Ryan Batcham shows great attitude, because he'll go and play anywhere for you, any position, and he'll quite often not be selected. So when you're not selected, it's hard to go into training on Monday, haven't played a game, just go on there and be himself. I mean, he actually he wasn't scouted, Ryan Batcham. He actually, when he was very young, he came through Junior Hammers, which is like a thing that's run by the foundation or the community of our club. I think you have to pay to go on it, and he come in and he stood out on there. And he's really come through, to this level the hard way. I mean, his family at West Ham through and through. His dad goes every game. They're West Ham lunatics, and so is he. And I think that might show how much it means to him and to his family to be involved, and he'll always give you 100%. I'm not saying that others don't. I did think it'd make a bit of a change.
But if you're to, well, you don't want to single one out, but if you're to praise those who show it, then Ryan Batcham's up there. Young Hams, then is that something that still goes around or still about?
What do you mean?
The young Hams you mentioned, the young Hammers.
Yeah. Well, there's a thing called Junior Hammers,
yeah,
which is foundation-led, community-based. We've also got Emerging Hammers, which is if you get invited into the Emerging Hammers, that's when you're scouted into the Emerging Hammers, and then eventually, if you do well at the Emerging Hammers, you come across to the academy. But Ryan actually was in the Junior Hammers, which was like nothing to that level at all. So he's worked his way up. He's not the only one. There's a fella called Carl Noyle who came for us, who now is at Stockport County. He come through the Junior Hammers as well. Like the likes of, I'm just picking because he's coming off. Like Tyrone Akbar, he actually was scouted straight into the academy as an under 13. He went to the school next door. Funny enough, he went to St Edward's next door. But
convenient when he had training in the evening.
He did. Ollie Scholes was released by Chelsea, and he went straight into the academy. Lewis Alford coming off, used to be at UPR. He was scouted as an under 7 straight into the academy. I mean, Lewis Brown was released by Arsenal, come straight into us not that long ago, last season. Sean Moore come from Ireland, was playing men's football in Ireland. There's a Dan Reed come from Manchester City. Cam, who's just come on, is local, comes from Hainault, and he was scouted as young. Favour came to us when the Barnet Academy closed down, and when he came in for a trial, we took him. That's the one thing I've got, is good knowledge of West Ham players, by the way.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I do research, but having you by my side for the games does make the job that bit easier. So 3 substitutions there. Sean Tarima, Mari Swire and Ollie Skulls coming on. Paranak Pata, Lewis Orford and trying to spot who else came off.
I think Lewis Orford come off. Did you mention Lewis?
Yes.
What did you say? Lewis?
Orford off.
Brad's gone off.
And he came on for Sean Tarima.
Brad's gone off.
And of course, yes, Swire replacing Brad Dolligan. So a complete change of midfield. Do you think that can sometimes disrupt West Ham, albeit they are 2-0 down and may want to try and find some way to get back into it, but taking off the heart of your team, what do you think that can do?
Yes, it can, but when I first come to the academy at West Ham, Tony Carr was the academy manager, director, and if I was doing a game and he'd come and say we was losing 2-0, wouldn't be very often when I was coaching. But say you was, he'd always say just change it to give the opposition something else to think about. So maybe Robbo's gone with that. So just changing it's always a good idea if you're losing.
Well, 20 minutes to go. West Ham with the tasks to try and get a goal back after being set back on 2 occasions early on in the first half through Christian Sekularak, and then in the second half Callum Osman's deft touch into the back of the net to make it 2-0 in the 52nd minute. Rigg trying to link up with Moore there. He doesn't give it up, calls for a penalty. Mark, what did you make of that?
I think they both was coming together and he slipped. I think they was calling for a penalty for the handball. I think it was a handball. I wouldn't have given it. Although after the penalty we got Sunday, I might have appealed for it. I'm not sure. I think it was for handball. They both sort of went to ground. I'm not really sure.
What? He hasn't given a penalty?
No.
No, obviously one of the players just down after colliding with Sean Moore. At the back of the head, he obviously took a knock, which is why the referee immediately blew his whistle.
I think the West Ham players did appeal for a handball, though. I think that's what they was asking for. It wasn't, it shouldn't have been a penalty, but I think that's what they was asking for. They both went to ground. It wasn't a free kick, but I think he might just give a bounce up, if I'm honest.
Fulham player obviously won the ball.
Yeah, and then it sort of like it rolled back onto his hand. I think I'm not really sure, but it definitely wasn't a penalty.
Of course, Kamari Swire scored against Cheltenham.
Good goal, good team goal, very good team goal. It was a really good goal. It was excellent.
He's a powerful player. Doesn't always find the back of the net, and sometimes I find plays maybe a half here and there.
He's the sort of player that if you're coaching a team, you'd like him in a team because he's someone you can play into. He's someone, he's a great target to have. You can play off. If you're a player playing alongside him, you'd like him in your side. Yeah, for a striker centre forward, I'd like him to get more goals. If I'm honest, I really would. His goal scoring record needs to be better, but as someone to play and to be the focal point of the attack, he's excellent. As I say, that goal at Cheltenham was a very good goal.
Of course, got a goal in that. Only scored once in the Premier League 2 this season. Fulham player still down. Hopefully he's okay. You want to see that for anyone, especially a youngster.
It didn't look that bad. I think he banged his head on the floor, if anything.
So obviously, what's your analysis when you look at Brad Dolligan and Kamari Swire? Any similarities and clear differences between the two?
Probably, if I'm honest, I'd say as a focal point and someone to play into, I like Cam the better of the two. But actually, you haven't seen it tonight. Actually, finishing chances, I think Brad's probably the better. Brad's game is finishing chances. I mean, he scored loads of goals for Worthing at under 18 level, I think, and some for the first team. So he knows where the net is, and that can't be taught. You know what I'm saying? He's really good at that.
Are you surprised that you haven't seen them play alongside one another? I mean, I know West Ham usually deploy just one striker, but would you ever fancy those two to maybe have a go together?
Yeah, and tonight, again, I'm not telling Robbo or Potsy or whatever their typically. Again, going back to the Tony Carr analogy, it might have been a time, let's put 2 up front, see how we get on. Might nick a goal and then we're in it. But they just showed it again. Just saw it. Fella's up and all right though, isn't he? Where is he? Who's down there? They haven't even taken him off, so they can't be that concerned about him.
I think he's got a... Well, it's definitely towards the back of the head.
Yes,
I can see the physio just having a look. Thought he had an ice pack on it for a second. So we're back underway after a couple of minutes. And the Fulham player was being looked at. It was their number 2, Oliver Gofford. Signed from the under 9. We signed as an under 9. Now in his second season with the playing in the under 18s and under 21s. Typically a central midfielder as well. He signed his first pro contract at the beginning of the year. The player who just went down, Oliver Gofford, back out on the pitch. Played right back this evening.
I do like to see that when someone's been through the club all them years. I mean, Cam's been with us a long time, Ryan's been with us a long time.
Casey too?
Cam Casey, George Urphy, you know, Lewis Halford. I really do. I mean, and the people down in the pre-academy do a really unsung work getting them. I mean, it's a big competition for the better players in London to get them at your club. There really is. I mean, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, West Ham are vying for the same players.
Batram with the ball in. Swire was there as the target man, unable to find him. Poor clearance, fortunate for the Hammers. Unable to make that cross count. I can understand how you admire those who have joined the club from a very young age. It's like they end up becoming a fan as well. They're ingrained into the club too when they make it into this level, even if they haven't been supporting that team or grew up nearby from a young age.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, you get to know them really well. You get to know the family, and without even knowing it, you probably have a subconscious bias towards them, and then making it.
Here is Gofford, player who was just down. Looks to put one in. A lot of height onto that. Briggs with a questionable clearance. Slightly confused with Batram there. Skulls onto Lamar Gordon, as is Batram.
I think what you just saw there was a lack of communication between Ryan and Briggs. Honestly, we haven't played together that much lately. One of them calls for it, it's done well.
Moore and Gofford.
Which way is he giving it?
Tussling with one another. He's giving it to the way of Fulham.
I have to say, I've been very impressed with Fulham's number 8. I mean, he scored the first goal. His work rate, gets around the pitch, he uses the ball well. Decent player. Good player.
Very physical player, and he had that strike as well on the volley where he struck it hard and high towards Herrick, and obviously saw the save that we praised from Herrick, because he's having to do some work here. Doing it with his feet this time.
Goal keeping, Finn. Was good keeping.
He picks out a brilliant ball as well.
Yeah, he's got great feet, Finn.
He does.
That's not the worst either.
It's a great touch from Moore up against Gofford. You could see the idea.
Yeah.
It was a nice pass. That's why just unable to retrieve it.
He's not the captain there, number 8, is he? He's not their skipper, is he?
He's not.
He's impressed me tonight. I think he's done well.
Chris Donnell, the number 6. But yes, Sekularak is their top goal scorer.
Is he?
In the Premier League too. He's got 5 goals to his name. As mentioned earlier, he's also a Swiss youth international. Debut came in November last year in a 5-0 win against Armenia, and ever since he's been an ever-presence in the Swiss youth sides.
No, I think he's been most impressive tonight. He scored 5 goals. He plays from quite a deep role. Sometimes he screens the back 4, so he does well to score those goals.
He likes to get in the box though, as we saw for his first goal, and He also likes to have a shot from outside of it, and he can certainly get them on target. Junior Robinson's about to come on, and this is well worked. As for One Meat trying to curl it, you can see what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
He had Tarima around him, and it looks like
Junior might come on for
One Meat.
a favour. If I was a gambling man. I'm not a gambling man. And I have just seen the board, so I was correct.
Exactly, I was going to say the odds must be pretty low for that.
Taking the call.
Do you gamble with Betway by any chance?
Not allowed to gamble any football.
Those are the rules commentators forget, you see.
Yeah.
Don't need to think about them. So Robinson.
Yeah,
about to make way.
Yeah. How long's he getting? How long's it going? 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
So an unlikely comeback for West Ham, but they have a chance to try and get one back here. There's favour for when he comes off. Bright spark in that first half.
He was.
A high corner towards that back post.
Sean.
Taken down by Tarima. Robinson looking to recycle. Now Batram again, a firm ball into the box, but the keeper read it.
It's a bit too floaty there, it was to be driven, and
gave him a lot of time to...
Yeah, he's asking for the keeper to come and claim it.
Was Robinson looking to maybe play in a more advanced role perhaps? Now that he's on the pitch with Batram, they usually come on for one another. Robinson... on for one another. Robinson
I mean, if he was on the pitch and you could get Ryan could play. He used to play up front as well. He actually could play anywhere, which is sometimes it's good for a player and sometimes it's not good for a player. You know, it's sometimes better just to nail a position down. That's me. That's what I want to be judged on. But if you're a coach manager, he's an handy player to have in your squad because you know if anything happens to someone, you can move him about.
Perhaps it's one of those concepts where it's great for the manager but not so for the player.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, it's the sort of thing you have to discuss with the player, the way he thinks, and make sure you keep communicating with him. I have to say, I think the whoever sells all the fireworks in the Dagenham Romford area, they're probably in Barbados at the moment because there's so many.
Like I said earlier,
it's just continuous.
We have not heard no fireworks all game. I mean, I'm not complaining. But
I think maybe next October, September, I'll remember it and set up a little...
Set up a little business. January, come January 2025.
Little shop in Dagenham. Get your fireworks here.
Got a business idea, Mark. I'll join you.
Get Junior. Come on, June.
So West Ham currently playing with 9 outfield players. Not anymore as Moore makes way again.
Played Ollie.
Good work here as it's tempted to have been pulled back by Swire. West Ham in the end, the last few moments of this game certainly looking dominant.
Yeah, I'll have to be honest, we've just a little bit been the nearly men. Just not quite tonight. We haven't been total rubbish, we just haven't been quite enough cutting edge in the final third.
That Fulham have had, especially that second goal, has to be praised, albeit it's the opposition.
Yep, no, it has to be. It's great movement from their 9. That was the difference.
Good header. The referee blowing his whistle. Not for an offside, but for a foul, I think, for Louis out.
Strange decision. 1 up, just jumped up, won a clean header. Thanks for coming. The referee's showing me that, no, I can't say that, but he looks like someone who would sit next to me in the stand at West Ham, who's never kicked a ball in his life, saying something. The referee looked like that. I think he had a good game, the ref, but that there was a curious decision. Just won a clean header.
May I ask why he looks like someone who would sit next to you at the West Ham game?
No, I often get people sitting next to me, some of them are even friends of mine, and they'll say things about the game and I just think, what are you looking at? What are you talking about? But obviously their bias comes in.
This is good work here as Fulham look to punish West Ham. Unable to do so there.
Great play by the number 10.
Aaron Lapaulo Bai and the number 10, Lamar Gordon.
Excellent work, excellent approach play.
Player who just missed that, the number 7, Aaron Lapaulo Bai, scored in the 85th minute to secure victory against Stoke City in Fulham's last game. Looks like they're about to make it 2 wins in 2.
Yeah.
Of course, not Stoke, Fulham, funnily enough, started this season off 4 wins in 4.
Similar to us.
Their 5th game, get this, their 5th game was against Chelsea, just like West Ham's. West Ham, of course, beat Chelsea 3-2 to make it 5 wins in 5, but Fulham, of course, lost 6-0 to Chelsea. It's funny how this league can work. Of course, it's all about the development.
It's all about the development, who's actually available as a player on the night and who's maybe in the first team squad or who's with injury and stuff like that. It sounds like I'm getting excuses in ready, but I'm not. That's just the way this league is. I'd also like to make it clear that the fella was going behind the bar there.
It went on the bar and it was the goal scorer for their first.
That's gone out, surely. I was going to say, I just want to make it clear that the fella sitting next to me at West Ham who doesn't know anything about the game is not the bloke who does sit there, is my mate Tony Falco. I was just saying a random, that's what I meant.
I know.
Tony's come down to meet me in the car park with all sorts of weapons.
Hearing this stream, saying, what did Mark Phillips saying about me?
I'd be more worried if his missus was coming down to meet me in the car park than Tony.
Fulham about to introduce their first player of the game, Tom Olliott, the number 17. Plays for Walton Hersham.
I'd like to say that West Ham have, there you go.
Yeah, that had a firework display going on just to our left.
I think the fella's early on the telly, he's going to get near and really let some fireworks go. I'd like to say that West Ham, although we're losing 2-0, we haven't thrown the towel in. We're still asking the questions. We're still trying to do the right things. Go on, Ryan.
Battram! Oh, what a save from Alex Borto. That was a fearful strike from Battram. He fancied his chances.
Showing you when he used to be a centre forward. There it was. So he can pop up in various areas. But just before I was saying that, West Ham have kept going, which is nice to see from a West Ham point of view. And I do look at things from a West Ham point of view.
An objective point of view, I suppose, as well. I mean, they've showed attitude in this game, and that's one of the key words we've had today.
Yeah.
At this level.
To be fair to myself, I've shown attitude as well. I've been totally slagged off on me my WhatsApp group by Andy Bowers saying I'm the worst commentator he's ever heard.
Did he specify it was you?
That's me. It's my pal as well. It's my mate. It's came me.
Oh, close header hit as Rigg slices it wide.
So thanks for that, Andy Bowers. I really appreciate it.
Don't blame him if he said it about both of us, but...
No, I don't know. It's me. It's cutting me off.
So the first substitution for Fulham, Tom Olliott coming on for, of course, their number 7. He just missed that close opportunity. Aaron LaPaulo by. Of course. Player coming on. Tom Olliott joined from Manchester City in 2022. A right winger. 17 goals in 23 under-18 games last season, which is...
For City or Fulham?
For Fulham.
That is impressive. He probably not, well, Dan Rigg is a year older because he's under 19, but he probably played in some games at City with Dan Rigg.
7 minutes added time.
Be interesting if you got one, wouldn't it?
It would be. I mean, the games I've seen recently, covering other games as well, there's been a couple of occasions where the home side, for example, have been leading 2-0 and then throw it away in the dying ends of the game, 94th minute and 97th minute. So hopefully for West Ham they can repeat that. But like you said, they've shown good determination, haven't thrown the towel in, and that, I suppose, is as satisfying as a 3-0 victory, you'd argue.
Yeah, and it just tells you a lot about the players individually, and that's what it's about. I mean, if there is any first team staff here, I don't know if there is, or they watch the game back, then then in months to come, if they're in and around the field, they know they've got the right attitude, and if they need them in the trenches, they're going to be there.
So Sekularak on that far side.
Yeah, been impressed with him.
Probably the player of the match, you'd say, if you had to cover both teams.
I definitely would. Definitely would. I think not because he scored the first goal. He just broke up play. He's created stuff. I think he's been good.
The free kick.
I wouldn't be surprised if he takes this as well.
He may fancy his chances. You've got Olliott, who's lurking. So it's the number 3.
No, he's not.
Jonathan Asenga.
He's not got involved the 8. Who's the fellow who scored all the goals at 17, was it?
Number 17, who's just come on, Tom Olliott, 17 goals in 23 under-18 appearances. Another substitution for Fulham, the number 14, Damon Park, as he comes on for Terrell Works, who of course got the assist for Sekularak's goal.
When you say that one of them comes to play for Walton and Hersham, he's obviously now Fulham have bought him from Walton and Hersham, are they? Or is he still linked to him?
It's a loan. So he's loaned out to Walton and Hersham. Right. Fulham, of course, is parent club.
He's a Fulham player and I've got you.
Yeah.
I've got you.
So Fulham with a chance to make it 3, and it will be their number 3 to strike it over the woodwork.
Well, that's not a bad thing for Fulham to do, again, to give them experience playing against men and everything else.
So yeah, he's on loan at Walton Hersham this season. So a bit like Mason Terry, where he'll play for Fulham and also Walton Hersham, just like Mason Terry for Hornchurch.
Yep, gotcha. I understand. And, I mean, last year, Mason Terry was at Concord Rangers for a year. So it gives him good experience in men's football. Cam was at Crawley last year.
He was indeed. Wasn't the longest loan spell, from what I can recall.
I think he'd been polite.
Here is Robinson still. Now Tarima. Brown, 2 Skulls left. Robinson linking up well with Skulls. Can they make it 2-1? Instead, Borto is required to make the save.
He's made a couple now. You think about the one he made from Ryan, the one he made from Ollie. At least we're tested him. At least we're tested him.
And he hasn't actually been Fulham's number 1, I suppose, this season. He shares it with Alfie McNally. Here's a rig. It's Rima. Robinson. He'll fancy one from distance. At the same time, he stings the back of Donnell's leg for Fulham as Brown chases Gordon, and that's a red card, surely.
He's off.
Right at the end of the game, what do you make of that? Of course, it was going to happen if he was to foul him, but disappointing.
Disappointing, and it's one of those. I'm not condemning him for making the foul. The fella was through, but could have made it been a bit more subtle, and maybe just had a tangle of legs or something like that. The fella was away. I'm not saying he wasn't away. And if the main person who's going to hurt is Lou himself, because it's a straight free game ban with a straight red in it.
Do you think, obviously hindsight, he's walking off, doesn't look at Robson?
Yeah, I mean it was just a ricochet, and so you're not going to read the pass. He was unlucky with that. The kid's got a bit of pace, got across him. In hindsight, and you look at it in the level, you maybe in this late on, you let him go and score the third, so what? Really?
But you're not having to miss the
the game isn't like that. The game's in front of you, and you've got to make a split-second decision. So I wouldn't condemn him for that. I really wouldn't. Just the manner of it for me, when he's actually he pulled his shirt quite high up, but you don't have time to think, oh, we're losing 2-0, we might as well lose 3-0. It doesn't work like that in the game.
I mean, it's very simple to kind of look at that and be frustrated, but it's an interesting point. Of course, again, the game is in front of him. You're not really thinking about what the next game could be when you're still playing this game.
If he is thinking about that, he's in the wrong game. He should be an IT computer expert. He just happens that quick. Not that I've ever been sent off for anything in my life. I'm just saying.
Would have been interesting to see your record of the England under-60s.
Didn't get a card for the 60s.
You have to play for the 60s to get a card, don't you?
Oh, good lad, good banter.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm a boy at death now. The trial that I had was a tournament, and we beat Wales and Israel in the tournament, so I did sort of represent my country in the trial.
Well, you played for the trials. That's essentially the qualifiers.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the friendlies, and you see all the senior players talk about their cap when they're playing in a qualifier or a Nations League game now.
Yeah. All I wanted was to wear my country shirt.
Plenty of room for the number 8, and the player of the match makes it 3-0 to Fulham. Christian Sekularak with a lovely right-footed goal.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Really, really good strike from the Swiss.
I didn't, as I say, I didn't know any of their players. I looked down the sheet before the game. He's the one who's really impressed me tonight. I'm not just saying it now after he scored 2 goals. Just his movement and his general play. Yeah, I like him. Good footballer.
It'll be interesting to see his development, as he's really looking a cut above at this level. Fulham now getting 18 points in the Premier League 2 for the campaign. Currently only have Man City and Brighton ahead of them.
And Fulham are not a bad club. They've got quite a good record at bringing players through and giving them a chance, in and around their first team. So I'll be watching his career with interest, the 8. I think he's done well.
Got a good record here. I think they actually beat West Ham at Rush Green this year 3-1.
Did they? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I knew travelling here tonight this wasn't going to be an easy game, and it's proved that way.
Eric with some excellent footwork. And a good ball out to Moore as well. Rigg just unable to keep it under his spell.
Yeah, no, Finn Eric's, for a goalkeeper, has got really good feet. I mean, in this day and age, to be a goalkeeper at this level, you have to have good feet. It's not just keeping the ball out of the net as it used to be. Being a good footballer is really important.
Tarima, as we're beyond the 7 minutes. Of course, in that 7 minutes, we've had a red card and a goal. Decent ball up to Scarles. Rigg will fancy one, and the keeper will meet it as he comes down low.
I think we've asked questions on their goal more since the 3 substitutions. We had 3 or 4 shots.
Scholes has looked good. It looks like he's even playing a bit more of a central role than what I've usually seen him play.
Yeah, no, Ollie can play there as well. He's got such a good left foot. He's fantastic up and down the left side, but he can play as a holding midfield player as well. And he can play as a left side centre back as well.
Well, the referee blows his whistle on a disappointing result for West Ham. Fulham came out the blocks exceptionally in the first half, and 2 second-half goals has meant that they walk away from East London back to West London, 3-0 winners in the Premier League 2 this evening. West Ham go on to play Braintree in the National League Cup on Tuesday. We will be live with that game on the West Ham YouTube channel, so we'll just go over the goals after this strong performance from Fulham. West Ham looked good at points, but didn't really have the cutting edge, unlike their opposition today. That's Terrell Works there. Good positional play from the player of the match, Christian Sekularak. And talk us through their second goal, Mark.
Yeah, very good little passage of play here. Get into the back of us, and there's the 8 again. There he is creating that little number 8. He's involved in everything. Simple pass, great movement from the 9. Great move. So again, the number 8 really did have a good game. Exceptional.
And now, of course, their third. Very late on. West Ham were down to 10 men at this point. It's run on by the number 9. We were mentioning how he had really good movement, managing to pick out a pass.
That's a great finish really. He's opened his body out and put it right in the corner. Otherwise Finn would be saving it. No, the number 8, he's definitely the man of the match in more ways than one. Been an excellent player.
So he gets player of the match. You've been joined by me, Ollie Aldis and Mark Phillips. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me, Mark. It was a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
Good
Cheers.
fun up here in the gantry. And we'll be back on the live stream on the West Ham YouTube channel. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Braintree Town next for West Ham United. Kickoff at 7:45 this coming Tuesday on Bonfire Night. Hopefully there'll be fireworks that night, as there has been today in East London. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening and a lovely weekend.
Pretty bubbles in. They fly over my right.
Remember the glory. From the Academy of Football to the champions of Europe, where our players became giants of the game and changed it forever, wearing our famous claret and blue. 60 years on, we wear the pride, we wear the passion, we wear the history, whilst making our own. Wear the greatness.
Right, you lot, today's a big day because we know West Ham United is all about putting in the hard work, grafting for the bag. Yes, let's have it! And you've worked hard. Early starts, late finishes. Oh, I've seen it. Tireless, selfless graft. We're not just cooking on the pitch. We're cooking off it too. And you do it all on your own, don't you? Well, not anymore. It's not just about the badge on your shirt. It's about what you wear on your sleeve and what that represents. Because this club don't exist without you. You pillars of the community. You champions of industry. You beautiful business owners. Now get out there and show me what you've got!
Our London, real London, nobody stays a stranger. The Bow Bells, our London calling. More than just a place, the Cockney cool heard far and wide. Graft and dedication, together for the ride. Born here, raised or made here, this is home. Our differences unite us wherever we may roam. Our spirit strong, our pride runs deep. In our London, it's our dreams we keep. Through highs and lows, we rise and shine. Beyond these streets, the Bow Bells chime.
West Ham United legend Jimmy Walker has got himself in a spot of bother.
Hello, Claret Car Insurance, how can we help?
Company motor's broken down. It's match day.
I know just the company for the job.
NWVA. The fastest, most efficient, cost-effective vehicle assistance company in the UK.
Right, Jimmy, let's get into this game, eh?
Nice one, Tom.
NWVA are proud partners of West Ham United.